Hi, it's Tamar, and I'm doing entry 9 of the LXP Discrimination Diaries, where I'm just documenting the impact of fighting discrimination against people who are lived experience practitioners in the workplace. Lived experience practitioners, we use our lived experience of mental ill health directly within the work that we do. So, yeah, what can I say? Obviously, the other thing about the diaries is that it's kind of documenting accessing pro bono legal support. So, yeah, there's that. So, yeah, what I was going to try and do today was get a load of stuff done and then do a diary saying, kind of like effectively saying how it, you know, just like all this stuff that I've done to yeah, towards it. And as you can see, I'm not in my usual kind of like she shed where I go to get work done, and it's all I've got my desk, my coffee, and everything I need to pop the laptop up and sort of get going really. But today I've woken up and I feel absolutely horrendous. And when I say horrendous, I don't mean ill, like ill, I just mean like my mood feels low, and I feel tearful and kind of upset. And the thing is that living with whatever I live with, I mean, the main diagnosis being emotionally unstable personality disorder. However, I don't know, it's a high and low moods, and your emotions can, I suppose, be a bit more vivid than than maybe people are used to. So maybe sort of a wider emotional range. But I'm really feeling it today, like really, to the point where I was thinking, actually, maybe there's, I was trying to think of why I might be feeling like this. So, for instance, like, if you've got PMT or something, sometimes that can mean that you feel sort of bad for no reason. So I was thinking, no, it's not PMT. It's not a sort of anniversary day on someone's death or something, and I couldn't think of any reason. Part of what we do is we try and like check in with ourselves to work out what something is. Essentially at the moment I'm just feeling really just upset about all of this, and it's really weird because I had this great conversation with Alison last night, which is on the part 8 of the diaries, and that felt really good. But I've kind of I don't know, I've just woken up today feeling like horrendous, and so I thought what I'm trying to do at the moment is just like capture that, and it might be that it might be that either I don't know, just sort of bum around and watch the telly or something, or it might be that at some point I feel kind of okay to do a few, I don't know, emails or something. But I feel awful. I mean, one thing that I have done today, and actually this has probably added to how I felt. One thing that I have done, so in the activism that I do, one of the ways of addressing things is asking questions. So what I tend to do is if there's kind of like an event or a Q&A or something that's kind of to do with mental health, is trying to ensure that I ask questions that are relevant to whatever the subject is, but that also kind of like raise the issue of lived experience practitioners and the work that we do and the discrimination we face, and where we have an equal opportunities to our colleagues, essentially. So yeah, so that's what I do. And there's one session that I've joined, which I kind of regularly, like a question, it's kind of like every week, and it kind of like, it feels really difficult because I feel like I've got to keep raising it because at the end of the day, they don't being addressed, so I'm going to keep asking the question, But and I think that's people find that all right at first, but and after a bit, they kind of like they get a bit, I suppose, like fed up with it or something. But saying that, that isn't the case with other things. I mean, when people raise because it's I'm not because it's um because at the moment, and this is really bad, but it's kind of flavour of the month where racial equality is being addressed, and that's been needing to be addressed like forever, So what I'm trying to say is that because like that needs addressing, and it needs raising, kind of like it needs raising until it is sorted, definitely. What I'm talking about is the difference in someone raising what is considered acceptable at the moment, and also with these things, it's like cycles. So when um, when racial equality is not flavour of the month, if it ends up sort of not being the flavour of the month again, a bit like in the 90s when a lot of these things that are being campaigned for seem to be being addressed more, and then we've kind of gone in, particularly in the last 10 years, with this austerity and right-wing stuff, and it seems like we've gone backwards. So what am I trying to say? Like, this stuff always needs raising, but at the moment I can see the difference between how other issues, so kind of issues of racial equality and issues of sort of LGBT equality, and even kind of like physical health, disability, and what I'm finding really hard is that kind of like being a lone voice and raising the issues around lived experience practitioner working. I mean, I'm not a lone voice nationally, but I'm a lone voice kind of like locally where I am, and I just don't think people see it, and I think probably people just think, oh, it's Tamil going on again or something, and what they don't realise is that this is, it's real, and we experience it, and it's so gaslighty to just, when you raise something constantly and it's not being addressed, like, it's really gaslighty to say that behaviour shows that people aren't taking it seriously or really seeing it. And I think today it's the process of kind of asking that question. I wasn't feeling great anyway. It's the process of asking that question, and what I was trying to say was actually, currently, because we're working in a mental health organisation at the moment, we are, as lived experience practitioners, we are the most marginalised, but we're not spoken about, in looking at the staffing structure. And then what I was saying was that within us, kind of as the most marginalised group, the intersection of lived experience practitioners who will also be gay or non-white will be, if you're there, it will be like ridiculously hard, and that's what I was trying to say. And then it was kind of like, it felt a bit bastardised, as in it was being answered and being said, oh yes, we've got things for LGBT, we've got things for BAME, hate the term BAME, basically non-white, kind of we're there for kind of like ethnically diverse groups. And I'm thinking, Well, that's great, but that don't answer the question, because, within a sort of like a BAME staff network, BAME, but it, or LGBTQ, or even a disability network, none of them cater for us and for our needs, and you don't get, none of them will kind of prioritise that, because their focus is on something else. And even members of their groups who do work as lived experience practitioners, they won't have they don't have like a little section for them or something. It's just kind of not thought of, and people are, they're busy with whatever they are trying to do. So essentially, I kind of I felt really frustrated at that, because I thought you're just not listening or hearing. And the question was basically around when it comes to discrimination, we don't get the same level of support as other people who are going through discrimination. And we don't get legal support. I mean, at the moment I'm making these videos because I'm trying to see if I can get legal support, and the thing is that even if I don't take my case to tribunal, because it has to go through ACAS and there's all like these hurdles, so it may never get to tribunal. However, I have experienced personal injury and harm from this discrimination, and the only way for I can't get compensated for that internally, and there's no way of I wish there was but there's no way of that people just sort of fess up to what has happened and kind of take some responsibility. You end up having to go to court to get this stuff recognised, and the only way that I can see that it will be recognised is if you actually get something in a court where they say, because nobody would do it informally, but where they actually say, yes, harm was caused and you have to pay a reparation for this, and this person is worth something, and these injuries are they were real, this has really happened, and really acknowledge it. And so the thing is, I'll need some legal support, sort of whatever happens, to do that. So so that's where I am. So today I'm kind of what can I say? I'm struggling a bit, and I think I'm struggling because you hear the frustration in people's voice. You hear that actually they're irritated with you as opposed to wanting to help, and they don't see. I think people kind of focus on, oh well, this is what the law says and blah blah blah, and you think, well, actually maybe somebody needs to challenge things, and if things aren't right, I mean, just because something isn't illegal, it doesn't mean you treat people badly just because there's a loophole where it says you can. Just because there's nothing to say it's wrong doesn't mean you shouldn't do it. And this is what I mean, where we kind of say, actually this stuff is hurting us, and you can change how you do things. You don't have to do it this particular way, and people choose not to. And then it's kind of knowing that you raise it, and see what I mean? I'm probably going over and over the same thing, but oh my god, I just feel I'm really feeling it today. So I've got my hot chocolate. I tell you though, I'll probably just watch some TV, hopefully get over myself, and if I'm feeling up to it in a bit, because sometimes you feel good for doing something. I'll get these get a few emails sent off or something, and I've got notes that I've got to go through, make comments on and stuff. So there's but maybe I just need a sort of a day off or something. I don't know. I'll see how I feel, because it's one of those things where sometimes if you leave things hanging over your head, you feel worse, don't you? So yeah. So yeah. Hopefully that's of help for people. You're kind of like a bit, just a bit curious about all this stuff, but also, there's anyone out there who's going. There's loads of people out there who are going through this, but there's anyone kind of watching who's feeling this way, then hopefully it just helps you feel like you're not alone. This is kind of it's real, it happens, and I know that I've appreciated so much when someone has actually said, what time I've gone through that, what you say, it makes sense, it's real. I've either, I've been through this, and I've tried to get it actioned, or sort of make a complaint or grievance or tribunal or what have you, and it's just amazing hearing that other people have tried that and had the same the same issues, so I feel less kind of alone in that regard. So what I'm hoping is that just by having this kind of out there, that it's there for other people too. And again, what I'm going to try and do is see if people kind of want to, for some of the entries, just chat about the experiences that they've had, a bit like the Zoom one that I did with Alison yesterday. So if anyone wants to do that and you're watching, hit me up. Hope I won't be crying my eyes out at that point. It goes up and down, but and if if you want to do something where you don't have your video on, that's absolutely fine. You can just do it sort of video off. Can do it anonymously, because I know that for a lot of people it's very scary. You don't want to, kind of like be public about it, because you're sticking your head above the parapet, and it's difficult. I mean, I kind of I find it hard. Believe it or not. And the other thing as well is, if you don't actually want to talk about the specifics of discrimination you faced, I do what I do and just sort of talk about the impact of it and how it's made you feel, and I don't know, any other impacts, and then that way you don't have to end up thinking you're putting yourself in the firing line. But it just helps sometimes to have for people out there to know that they're not alone in however they feel. So yeah, I think I'll stop now. Oh God, I look alright today. I even thought to myself, I wonder if I'm getting COVID, but it's not that. I'm just feeling very low, and it has that effect. So yeah, okay, cool. I'll shut up now and just watch the telly, and hopefully I'll feel a bit better for whenever the next one is.